In this podcast episode, Michael Easter discusses the concept of moderation and why it is difficult for humans to achieve it. He explains that moderation has become challenging in modern times because humans have evolved in environments where resources were scarce, such as food, information, and social status. The individuals who were able to obtain and consume more of these resources had a survival advantage and were more likely to pass on their genes. However, in today's world, we have an abundance of these resources, but our genes still drive us to seek more. Easter uses the example of food to illustrate this point. In the past, finding and obtaining food required effort, and there was never a maximum amount available. So, when people had the opportunity to eat, they would consume as much as possible to store extra calories as fat for times of scarcity. This drive for more food still exists today, even though we have easy access to an abundance of food. The same principle applies to other resources like information, material possessions, and social influence. The guest also discusses the concept of the scarcity loop, which is a three-part behavior loop that pushes people towards excessive consumption. The loop consists of opportunity, unpredictable rewards, and quick repeatability. Easter explains that this loop is embedded in various technologies and institutions that influence our lives, such as social media, personal finance apps, sports betting, and even education and the food system. These systems exploit our innate desire for more and keep us engaged in behaviors that push us beyond moderation. Easter also explores the idea of escape and how these systems provide an escape from the complexities and problems of everyday life. The scarcity loop offers a fun and engaging escape, but when people engage in these behaviors too often, it can become addictive and detrimental to their well-being. The conversation then shifts to the topic of addiction, and Easter challenges the traditional views of addiction as a moral failing or a brain disease. He argues that addiction is more of a symptom of underlying problems, such as trauma or a lack of other means to address those problems. He cites examples like soldiers in Vietnam who were addicted to heroin but were able to recover once they returned home. Easter believes that addiction is a complex issue influenced by various factors, including individual circumstances and environment. The discussion also touches on the role of certainty in human behavior. Easter explains that humans have a natural inclination towards certainty because it provides a sense of security and control. However, in today's world, where information is abundant and often conflicting, it is challenging to find certainty. This uncertainty can lead to frustration and a desire to seek answers, even if they are not necessarily accurate or reliable. The conversation continues with a reflection on the current information landscape and the challenges of navigating it. Easter acknowledges that while fact-checking is more accessible today, it is still challenging to determine what is true and reliable. He emphasizes the importance of being open to different perspectives and recognizing that scientific knowledge is constantly evolving. The conversation continues with a discussion on how social media has amplified the effects of status and fame. In the past, people's actions and reputations were known within their communities, but now social media allows individuals to display their lives on a massive scale. This can lead to confusion and disappointment when people realize that someone's online persona does not match their real-life character. The pursuit of status and fame has become an addiction, with individuals seeking validation and attention through social media platforms. The concept of status is explored further, with Easter explaining that psychologists were initially hesitant to study status because acknowledging its importance would mean admitting their own desire for status. However, research in the 1990s, particularly on class issues, made it more acceptable to study status. The rise of social media has further intensified the influence of status, as individuals can now measure their popularity and influence through metrics such as followers, likes, and retweets. The conversation then shifts to the pursuit of fame, which has evolved from being a marker of achievement to a desire for attention and status. Reality TV shows exemplify this shift, as ordinary people can become famous overnight without having accomplished anything significant. This has distorted the perception of how fame and status are achieved, as individuals no longer need to do something noteworthy or heroic to gain recognition. The discussion delves into the dangers of valuing opinions over actions. Words now carry more weight than deeds, and performative empathy has become a common trend. People who proclaim their empathy and support for marginalized groups may not actually take meaningful action to support those causes. This discrepancy between words and actions can be misleading and manipulative. The conversation then turns to the scarcity mindset in relation to food. Easter explains that the rise of ultra-processed foods and snacking has led to overeating and weight gain. The food industry has capitalized on the gamification of food, creating products that offer value, variety, and velocity. These hyper-palatable foods with unpredictable rewards trigger addictive behaviors and lead to overconsumption. Easter highlights the importance of eating minimally processed foods and reducing the variety of flavors to promote healthier eating habits. The podcast also explores the impact of scarcity mindset on other areas of life, such as shopping and information consumption. The pursuit of material possessions and the constant exposure to targeted advertisements can lead to impulsive buying behaviors. Similarly, the abundance of information available through social media and the internet can overwhelm individuals, leading to information overload and difficulty discerning valuable content. Easter suggests 3 strategies to break the scarcity loop and promote moderation. The first is awareness, as observing one's behavior can lead to changes in behavior. The second is changing or removing the elements that contribute to addictive behaviors, such as unpredictable rewards or excessive speed. Finally, slowing down the decision-making process can help individuals make more intentional choices and avoid impulsive behaviors. The conversation concludes with a discussion on the importance of finding balance and moderation in a world of abundance. It is crucial to be mindful of the psychological and environmental factors that influence our behaviors and to make conscious choices that align with our values and well-being. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe.